There was a big background check for guns, a deal that was actually figured out today. In the Senate, a bipartisan group of senators announced an agreement on deals to expand background checks and tighten laws against gun trafficking. Now, the first breakthrough, this is a major deal that has been not working very well in Washington. It's been a major sticking point, but Senators Toomey and Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania, who's a Republican, and Joe Manchin of West Virginia, who is a Democrat, mostly, for sort of, in name only, I think, came up with this background check. It's an amendment that would exempt all personal transfers of weapons between individuals. But it would close the infamous gun show loophole, and it would also require background checks on internet sales. It's a pretty big deal, I think, this.
It's a big deal if it actually comes up for a vote. And we'll see, because, you know, Harry Reid has been gutting this bill from the jump. He has not allowed the assault weapons ban to be included in this bill. He has not included high-capacity magazines in this bill. So we will see if it actually comes up for a vote, because you also have Republicans who have been threatening to filibuster this thing. They don't even want a vote. You've got 92% of Americans, including, by the way, 88% of Republicans who support universal background checks. This is incredibly popular, and yet there's a question about whether it will even come up for a vote. So you've got Toomey getting together with Manchin, both superstars in the NRA, by the way. You remember Manchin was the one who his campaign commercial showed him shooting
the EPA, one of the
Obamacare,
yes,
I believe, putting a bullet through Obamacare.
I think it was cap and trade. That
was it cap and trade?
He posted cap and trade, and he shot it with a rifle.
So that's who, you know, that's who we now have to turn to allow them to even bring this to a vote for one of the most popular issues in the entire nation. Explain to me why in this country, this is what democracy has come to. We are begging them to have a vote on what 92% of Americans agree with. Background checks. Even NRA used to agree with this.
So are you saying that our representative democracy is not functioning the way it's supposed to because there's an undue influence of money corrupting the process? Is that what you're referring to?
Well, now that you put it that way.
Well, we actually have some, let's get some videos first, actually. Senator Pat Toomey, he did come out and talk about the deal that they signed today.
I'm a gun owner, and the rights that are enshrined in the Second Amendment are very, very important to me personally, as I know they are to so many people across Pennsylvania. My record shows this. But I've got to tell you candidly, I don't consider criminal background checks to be gun control. I think it's just common sense. Criminals and the dangerously mentally ill shouldn't have guns. I don't know anyone who disagrees with that premise.
I do. I can think of some, like the NRA, for example. The NRA, of course, was not pleased at all. I thought it characterized as being lukewarm, that they were lukewarm to this, which I think is sort of putting it nicely. Mm-hmm. The NRA statement said, essentially, expanding background checks at gun shows will not prevent the next shooting, it will not solve violent crime, and will not keep our kids safe in schools.
So that's the old theory that if your solution to the problem doesn't fix the entire problem, we have to throw your solution out and start over.
That's true. If people still speed when they're on the highway, then we should throw out all traffic laws, right?
That's the same logic. Using that logic, that would be the next logical conclusion, which sounds ridiculous
when you think about it.
When you think about it.
Seatbelts don't keep everybody from dying, so why do we have seatbelts at all? Mm-hmm. That's government tyranny, and clearly this Republican Toomey is in favor of absolute tyranny. Remember, the NRA was in favor of background checks after
in 1999.
Exactly. After Colorado,
right? After
shooting?
Columbine,
right? Yep. Wayne LaPierre, in testimony in the U.S. House, said there needs to be a background check for every sale, every time. What happened 10 years later?
Well, a lot of money happened later, apparently.
Apparently so. The arms industry.
What happened was they found a way to undermine universal background checks. They found a weird argument, and the weird argument is that they say, well, look at all the people who didn't pass a background check, and they thought that they might have been lying, felons who tried to get guns or what have you, and the police never went and prosecuted those people. What the point, they say, so we're not even enforcing the laws we have now. No, the point of that law is to make sure that a crazy person or a criminal can't buy a gun. Not that we can put them in jail for illegally filling out a background check. So they found a way to bullshit that argument, to confuse it so people don't know, well, if we're not enforcing the laws, we are enforcing the laws. The point of that law is to keep people from getting the gun.
Right. Don't do them at all.
So don't do them.
That's
Yes.
the theory.
Yeah.
We've stopped them from buying guns,
Yes.
but we haven't arrested them. Therefore, let's do away with the background checks.
Right. So again, if the argument falls
perfect
apart
sense.
with even if you take the slightest little look at it, it falls
Unbelievable.
apart the argument.
Now, there are other parts of this law that we should also mention. Again, you said earlier, there's no assault weapons ban in this. There is no ban on high-capacity magazines. It's a watered-down version, I guess, of the Schumer bill that had been the Schumer-Coburn bill that had failed previously. But it does allow for concealed carry. You can, if you have a concealed carry permit in one state, it does allow you to take it into another state that does not allow concealed carry,
that's
and
kinda
you would
bullshit.
not break the law. So there are a couple of
That's kind of
concessions to
Wow, that's a
the
big
gun
concession.
industry for that.